All right, so right now I'm at the very back of the combine. You can see the ladder that we take to get up to the top. But on the back we have what we call spreaders. They throw trash out and try to spread it as wide as the head is. So for instance, I have a 30-foot beam platform, so we try to adjust these. They are adjustable. The throws on them got different holes, and we want to try to spread that out as much as we can at 30 foot, but also not put it out where we haven't harvested either, because then we'd have to run it through twice. This is so I've got the back cover out, so you can see this is the gears that drive the spreaders. Okay, they were replaced this winter. The bearings and stuff are kind of rusty. It's been sitting out a little bit. So anyhow, those were all changed. We have a spreader on each side of this ladder. We'll walk around here real quick. Same thing, got bearings and stuff to inspect. The spreader. Okay, over here we got the spreader drive pulley. It's actually the driven pulley. It's 2 speeds. I could kick this up on the larger pulley and it would spin faster. Okay, so we're going to inspect the belt. The belt was replaced this winter also. The idlers that keep the belt tight. This is an adjuster. It's spring loaded. Okay, and I don't know if you can see me turn that pipe. That's kind of how you set all the idlers on this machine. Is you want to tighten this down so that you can still turn that pipe. If you get it so tight you can't turn it, it's too tight. And if you can shake it back and forth, it's too loose. Okay, moving on. Again, we got all kinds of cranks to inspect the rubber on. I don't like this one. I don't know. We'll have to check that out. I'm just not real happy with the way these bushings are holding up. But anyhow, we'll look at some more. I may get a second opinion. Moving on, we saw the chopper on the other side shaft bearing that I changed. This is the drive side of the chopper. It has a 2-speed chopper on it. We can change that, or a little diagram to show you what speed you're in. But anyhow, if we are on the high side, that's for soybeans. It's a little more aggressive to chew up all the stems. Okay, but when we go in corn, we slow it down because the corn cobs are pretty wicked to try to chop, and it'll tear the chopper up if we run it too fast in corn. Okay, so right up in there you got to crawl up, and we move this belt back and forth to go from high to low. Some of the newer combines do that by a hydraulic motor these days, so you don't even have to get out of the cab. All right, so we got a big old 6-sided belt. This kind of runs a little bit of everything. It's going to run the elevators. Okay, we've got 2 elevators on the combine. One's called the return. It's going to recycle all the grain. Okay, we're going to feel that. I should have just a little bit of slide on it, and it's pretty tight. That's where it should be. Okay, and then down here I'm going to have to bend down a second. So this is the clean grain elevator. Okay, and everything that we're going to send the elevator passes through this, and this chain was just put in this winter. All right, they replaced the bearing in there. This is reused the flanges, but the bearing inside's new. We're going to reach up in there to the auger. Hopefully I don't find the mouse, but this all feels pretty good. It's not sharp. Okay, so we're in good shape there. We're going to go up here. This little box on top of the, or on the side of the clean grain elevator is part of the yield monitor. Okay, it's going to sense the moisture coming up from the clean grain, and it's also going to measure the volume, or help measure the volume. Okay, but it does all the measurement way up to top too. Is another place that it measures. All right, so moving forward, we're on the right side of the combine right now. All right, probably made you dizzy doing that. Okay, so that opens up the safety shield. We're getting into the cleaning fan area. know if you can tell down in there, but big old fan goes from one side of the machine to the other, driven by this belt. It's can slow down, speed up by this 12-volt little motor on it from the cab, and that happens by moving these pulleys wider and smaller. So kind of like your 10-speed bicycle can change gears, this kind of does it by belt, and it changes the speed of what that fan runs. Okay, again, we're looking at belts. They all look good. Don't see no bearings bad. We got drive chains over here. This one here is driving the return elevator. Okay, it's a new chain, just got put on, it's in good shape. Other one up there is the clean grain drive chain. Okay, it's just been replaced. All right, and when we adjust that clean grain drive chain, we have a little chart here that tells us that we're going to measure that spring right there, and it needs to be 6 inches from flat washer to flat washer. So that's how we keep that adjusted, and we try to check that at least every couple days, if not every day. So lots of things to keep an eye on the combine. Again, we're check tires, we're just looking for anything out of place. We'll check tire pressures. I won't do this right this very moment, but we'll pull all these shields off and check the belts and bearings behind it. And then again, we looked at the feeder house earlier. It's been adjusted up this last winter when we did this before. So I think that kind of concludes our little tour. This is a reverser motor. So what a reverser motor does, let's say something gets stuck out here in the head. Could be a tree limb, rock, whatever. It stops the machine. Well, we can shut everything off, and we hit a hydraulic motor, this one, and it turns everything up here backwards, so to unlodge anything that was stuck in there. Okay, and then maybe another really important thing to show you. Okay, down there below, I'm going to hit this. There's a, hang on, they call it a rock trap. Okay, that door, if I run a rock up there, there's a recess in there and the rocks will collect in there. Okay, so we need to clean that out, start out with it clean so the rocks can collect in there. All right, thank you for paying attention. There's another one of our grease zerks to grease the front of the rotor, and we've pretty much made it all the way around this puppy. So have a good day. All right, last thing we're going to talk today about is this rotary screen and the importance of it in keeping the dirt out of the radiator, and it also keeps it out of the engine air filter. It spins like crazy. Get up here, you can see this hydraulic motor that causes this screen to spin around out here. Okay, we've got to try to keep this blowed out and clean as we possibly can. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the air goes through here. It also pre-cleans the air going into my air filter back there. Maybe you'll be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So this is the radiator, okay? And it has hydraulic coolers, air conditioner, condensers, a lot of stuff happening there. We'll pull this open, okay? This is so we can clean it out back there, and we're trying not to fall off, working with one hand here. Hang on, now come down step. All right, so I paid somebody to clean this last fall at the dealership, and I don't think you guys can see that dirt in there. I'm not real impressed. They didn't get all the dirt out of it, so I'm going to have to re-clean this because it's not to my satisfaction. And the other thing I don't care for is they got a little close and bent these fins up, and that won't allow the air through very well. Yeah, so we're going to do some more cleaning on this. This is what they call an inner air cooler. It Kind of cools the air down a little bit before it goes into the engine, okay, on the engine intake, the air intake, okay. Also, this thing, it's supposed to spin as the air goes through it and help keep this from getting dirty. I don't know if you guys will be able to see in there. There's little pockets of dirt in there, so we're going to have to get air hose out and blow it out first. We like to use air first because once that stuff gets wet, which they've already got it wet, I know they used a power washer at the shop, but anyhow, it tends to get sticky and not want to come out. So we're going to try to blow it out with air, and then we'll probably end up using a power washer. And if you ever use a power washer on your radiator, on your car or any radiator, you be really careful you don't get too close. You can see on this one it's not too bad. I don't see the fins bent, but you get around here on this side and they've got a little close. So I might have to take a what they call a radiator comb and try to straighten those out a little bit. And also, someplace there's supposed to be a little plug right here. This is where the water drains out when you wash it out, and they didn't put the plug back in, so we're gonna have to make sure that gets put in there before we go to the field, because that'll just immediately suck this thing full of dirt. So again, good idea to always check out your combine, even if somebody else has already done it. All right, talk to you soon.